What's up, everyone? Aubrey Trades with another trade recap. Man, small day for me today. Small day. Walking away with about $20. I'm happy with it. I actually am implementing a new rule for myself that 3 trades in the morning or $20 profits. Whatever comes first, right? And I'm doing that because I notice, going through my trades, I usually have a couple good ones in the morning, and then I get overconfident. I bet too big, I take a less than ideal setup, and then I wipe out all my gains, or worse, I end up going into the red, right? So from now on, 3 trades, $20. That's it. I figure if I can average about $20 from the market a day, climb out of my deficit hole within 2 months. I can do that. And that'll force me to have some discipline. It'll force me to focus on the best setups, on the best times of day. And it seems to me like the best time of day is going into pre-market action if you can catch one of the runners without chasing, or right at the open. Real quick, I want to call out LC, top gainer, up 50% on the day, and it just rejected this line. Just look how close that is to this volume profile resistance band, actually corresponding on the 5-year chart to this zone right over here. I just love how spooky accurate those lines are. It's real crazy. Yeah, not much to do. Like, you know, you're best if you caught this bottom $2 a share. Like, that's actually, I'm not like terribly crazy about that. FLGC, nice pre-market spike hitting the 11s, has done nothing but fade all day. COCP, this is actually the one that I did take my trade in pre-market, catching this dip. We'll go over it in a little bit. That's kind of doing a little bit of nothing. NAOV is a day 2 bouncer. I just can't believe. So amazing to watch. So upset that I did not play this yesterday or today, even though it's been on my watch list for the past couple days. Here's my watch list here. NAOV bounce happened, on watch for a continued move. Preoccupied with the stock of the day. That's something that I've noticed about myself too. Before we continue on with those thoughts, let's talk about my COCP trade. Show trades. Cool. Reload. There we go. Caught this. I have like an interesting observation. The other day I stayed up until about 1 a.m. Pacific time because I wanted to catch the pre-market open for BTBT because I thought, oh, Bitcoin is, hanging around the highs around 40K. I want to catch pre-market open because BTBT could spike and go to BTBT. See, I ended up making some here. If we go to let's go to the 5-minute chart, 5-day. Oh man, this was another good trade this morning too. Anyway, so I wanted to catch the open, but I realized I couldn't actually put any orders in on Thinkorswim. So I was like, oh my goodness. So I ended up going back to sleep, and I couldn't help but notice on a lot of these stocks too, around 4 a.m., 7 a.m. Eastern, these will have a huge volume spike, especially if it's already uptrending in the early hours. So now what I want to do is I want to try and get myself up between 3 and 3:30 so I can try and see and catch this. I think that 4 a.m. is the time frame when the big boxes like E-Trade and Thinkorswim, it's just a theory, I don't know this for sure. If you do, leave a comment below. I think this is when they start accepting the orders. I think there's a rush of people that wake up, start trading at 7 a.m. And that's what causes this bar. So I want to wake up before that. I want to catch this, because if you can catch this, even if you're getting here in at 7:40, So you miss this, part of the beginning of the move. You still give yourself a nice cushion for this move. So you can have a nice pre-market trade and then potentially wrap your morning up before the market even opens, right? Really proud of how I handled this midday trade here. Getting in on the on the dip, waiting for that continued move up, and I selling in the 925 area, catching this little move up. Good trade. I didn't expect much more from it. If you see, actually, can I do the, let's turn this to the 15 minute, and let's put our day studies on it. This is where I like to have just the volume profile and my whole moving average. And then today, kind of see us retesting these highs. I didn't expect much from it because you see the volume kind of dips off right here. Usually when you get to the extremes of these bands, the tendency is to revert back to the thicker area, right? You saw that happen yesterday. Saw it happen here. And this, from the whole period, so this 15 days, you have your low extremity, you have your high extremity, you have your point of control in the center. I love that this is holding this upper extremity as support. Now it's like, basically we're going to call it 950 is really the key area here on BTX to break for a continued move up. We're going to add that in. And, maybe we set an alert. So I want to make sure that I'm around for this if it happens again. Going back to COCP. Anyway, I saw this kind of doing its thing. Missed this initial push. We're going to switch to the 1 minute chart here. Missed the initial push and said, all right, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for the pullback. And I'm going to watch the active trade ladder. I'm going to look for this turn. Right now, what I like about this is that it adds up the order book. So everything here that's at 131 and everything here that's 129, it adds them all up and you see them as one number here. So I can see roughly 100,000 shares on the ask versus only about 5,000 shares on the bid. That tells me there's way more selling pressure than there is, and this is likely just to move back down before it moves up. We'll see. Could be wrong. But I used that to kind of find the turn here. Entered on the first green candle. Real proud of my execution on this, even though it was only a $20 win. Got in here at 132. First green candle. Took half off at 134. Took the other half off at 135. And the reason I didn't give this more time, I wanted to give it more time. But frankly, I was looking for the push up to 150, and 5 minutes in, every advance up on this ladder, you see that? Did you see how this climbed up and was instantly met with an increase in the sell orders? It was every advance. Then this would turn and would be 1200 by 500 on the ask, and so okay, that's heavier on the buy side. But then it would advance to 132 or 133, and then all of a sudden it would turn into 300,000 shares on the ask. And I'm like, okay, that's not so great, not so great. So I sold 135, ended up being the top here. Waited for this dip, got back in when we were kind of climbing a little higher. Said, you know what, I'll try for the continued move. Maybe this is going to be the test, right? Waited to see the turn on the active trader. Held through, and just ended up calling it at 138.25, or 138, which ended up being just underneath the top of this candle. Now, maybe held longer, I could have gotten an extra 2 cents, whatever. No harm, no foul. The larger picture I was looking for this, and then bam, higher. But we ended up just consolidating around. I'm glad I didn't stick for this chop fest. As you can see, we kind of gave it up here. Missed this trade because at that point I made 20 bucks and I'm following my rules, right? 20 bucks for 3 trades. I don't want to get overconfident. And even this, like, I kind of did this in reverse, really. I took a $200 position here and then tried to come back with $1,000 position, or with 1,000 share position here. Granted, I thought we were going to get the big push up to 152 again. So that's what I had seen. But really, the 1,000 share position should have been here, right? And then you risk the low of the candle and then scale out during this consolidation. So if I had to redo it, I would have flipped this around and then maybe made this the smaller entry, or ideally maybe I just like held to see, and when we didn't push back out of here, I could have just gotten out. This would have yielded better gains. So I need to not pyramid in that way, or maybe it's 200 shares risk here if I want to get bigger picture. Add some here on the dip after the higher low is confirmed. And then when we fail to break out, you can still get out profitable. So that's my trade recap. Not mad at it, but just outlining some things I can think of differently for next time. Happy to be green on the day. 20 bucks a day I think is nice, manageable, easy enough to do. And I'm just going to not swing so much like for the fences like that, even though like this, to me that was obvious that it was going to push up just because of the way that this was weighted. And you can even see like that this is going to make a move up. This is more likely to make a move up now before it makes a move down, just because of the way it's weighted. You got 100,000 shares by 2,000, like, unless there's hidden selling going on. That's what we look at the tape for, but we just ticked up to 133 though, so that's nice. That's about it. NAOV, another good one. I just didn't want to chase this, but this ended up being a nice little stair step here. I had an opportunity to get in here, but it was third trade, and I was like, I don't know. I don't want to push my luck. So there we go. Hope you all did good. Let me know in the comments below if you had any good scores, or if you're watching anything for the afternoon. Maybe I come back, maybe not. Let's see. And this ended up topping out at 3 so far. Look at this. And 3 is kind of like, see where the volume kind of just ticks out? So you need a good flurry of volume to push us back into this zone. We'll see. Maybe this hangs around VWAP through the afternoon and we get a retest. I would love to see that personally. I would love to make another really high odds third trade for the day. I'm saying, as I just said, I'm not going to make any more trades because I am up $20 and them's my rules. So discipline trade. All right, that's it. Aubrey, out.